Okay, we're on the main street of Bourke, New South Wales. It's only just gone 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, so there's not much happening here. But there's some pretty damn nice old buildings here. We figured we'd get out and photograph the place before it filled up with people. Now this is a Crosley twin-cylinder oil-filled stationary engine. Bet you didn't think I was so knowledgeable, but it's written just in front of me. Oh well. This is the Wharf at Bourke. And it's an exact replica of the 3 previous wharves which stood here in past times. And it's on the Darling River. There are steps down to the various landing stages under the wharf. I dare say, depending on how high the river is, you would need to get onto one of these landing stages to get onto or off the boats. This is the theaterette where a 7-minute intro to the history of Bourke takes place. Having watched the film, you then come out and take a little wander around through the various exhibition buildings.
Was at the Riverside. Then put lots of it. If it's ever going to sustain farming. It gives me time for this moment. Well, I'd better get this to Philip down at the Western Herald. My life seems to be run the way it is. One of the things that will be really close enough under
Some of the finest are from the Australian bush. The accent's a little bit off. Apologies, but I couldn't sing shit. You see, I was actually born in Bathurst, 500 kilometres southeast of here along the old Common Coach Route. But I lived and studied in the old country for 15 years before I returned home. I didn't have much interest in the subject at all, I have to admit. But once I lived alongside the people whose unwavering dedication drove the industry and the love of the vision of the AI and political union fronts, that the Australians represent the
This is the Darling River near Bourke. And when Henry Lawson was here, he wrote that they needed to lock the river for a permanent water supply here or a better water supply here in Bourke. 4 years later, the weir was built, and then because of the paddle steams that were moving up and down the river, there were 40 locks planned to be built. This was the only one that was ever made, because a few years later the paddle steamer business finished. But this one still here as a reminder of what it was all about. And the lock at this point was the first lock to be built in Australia. They are of course down through the Murray system. We're out looking for the Fort Bourke Stockade. This is a fairly important part of Australian history. So of course they give you a real big sign to have a look at to tell you where it is. This place is really weird with the signage for their attractions. Obviously you have to go through private property to get to it, so the gates need to be opened and closed. It appears that Major Thomas Mitchell didn't have the same ability to create a rapport with the Aborigines as Sturt had before him. So when he was charged with continuing Sturt's explorations of the Darling River, he chose to first of all build a fort to defend his men against any attack from a potential attack from the Aborigines. This was the only fort that was ever built as a means of defence in Australian history. This is supposedly a replica of the original Fort Bourke. I suggest that maybe it's something that's been put there as a just to represent what it was all about. Just around the corner from the Stockade, there's the 8 Mile Lagoon. This is it. Stockade, in fact, is actually situated a little rise just between the 8 Mile Lagoon and the Darling River. You would think that there probably wouldn't be anywhere near this amount of water in here. There would only be the recent rains that probably supplemented its normal supply. Ah, bugger! ants. Oh, and my bite. Shit. Big bastards. Oh, Christ. Oh, you bastard. Big anthole here.
Oh my God, look at them. You got any shoes?
Don't know, get out of here. Oh, shit. Fuck. Well, Bourke was the final resting place for Fred Hollows. This is his grave. The Western Herald was first known as the Central Australian. It was established in 1868. It was Bourke's first paper. And the paper was first published in 1887 when bought by the Carmichael family. This is the building on the paper that Henry Lawson worked at when he was sent up here for a few years. Police Inspector's quarters was built in 1901. This old wooden house belongs to the Historical Society and is now used as a women's refuge. These are the remains of the paddle steamer Wave, which in 1921 there were floods and it got caught up high on the bank. As the floods dropped away, the paddle steamer remained up on top of the hill. Its owner lived in it for a number of years, but this is all that's left of it now.
If you enjoyed this video, there are over 600 more just like it on this channel. Subscribe and hit the notification bell and we'll let you know when the next video is available. If you like this video, hit the like button, comment and feel free to share with your friends. Thanks for watching.